the conversion to and from the mixed fractions. Okay, so this is the mixed fraction. Here they are somewhat imbalanced because the numerator is larger than the denominator. Okay, so the way we write the mixed fractions, what do they signify? First of all, let us see. So if I have a fraction such as this 10 by, let us say, 7, it means that in total I have only 7 parts, from which I am taking 10, which means that I am taking the from a 7 I am taking 10. This means that I am taking more than the 7. Okay, so if I ever taking 7 of 7, then we know that this is 1. So this number is actually larger than 1, which means that this number is actually equal to 1 plus something and then divided by 7. So there are this number has to be written like this, and the way we convert from 10 by 7 to this form is actually doing the long division of 10 with 7. But instead of continuing the division forever, we will just do division until we have reached a final remainder. So this becomes 7 ones are 7, and there is a remainder 3, and this remainder 3 will no longer go with 7. So I cannot divide it any further. So I stop here. And then I say that there is one full 1, which is written right here, and then there is 3 additional 3 as remainder, and 3 seventh. Okay, and this 3 and this remainder 3 is expressed as essentially 3 by 7. So this thing we simplify even further by omitting this plus sign completely, and we write this as 1 3 by 7. So 1 3 by 7 is a fraction. It's a combination of one full thing and then 3/7. The 3/7 is the proper fraction. It means 3 things out of 7. Okay, so that is what this is, the improper fraction, and this is the proper fraction. Okay, and 1 3 by 7 means nothing but 1 plus 3 by 7. Okay, so 3 things out of 7 things, and this 1 is nothing but 7 out of 7 things. Okay, so that brings us to the next topic, which is how to convert from this proper fraction 1 3 by 7. How do we go back to here 10 by 7? And that is again very simple. How we do that? We write this as 1 plus 3 by 7. Now this 1 is nothing but 7 by 7. Okay, we have to add these two, we have to express both in the terms of same denominator, converting them to like fractions, and this is nothing but 7 plus 3, which is 10, comes at the top. The bottom is the common denominator, which is a 7. So the 10 by 7. Okay, again we went back to the same fraction. So hopefully going back and forth between improper fraction and mixed fractions, it is very clear how do we go back and forth, right? Like I said, this thing is actually unstable, so we always try to convert them into proper fraction. We always try to express them in this format. Okay, so now with all that basic things being done, ultimately this is where the rubber meets the road, and we have to solve some problems. Now this is a very simple problem. It has been asked in the exam, so all the problems like this have been asked. Now again, as you saw, that this is not a question directly on fractions, but here the fractions are used extensively in this problem. So there are total of 8 people, right? There are 8 friends, for example, and then they all went to eat food. So they went to, let's say, lunch, and they had their food, and the total bill came out to be, let's say, C. That was the cost of food. So they said that, oh, we'll just divide it among ourselves. So if they were to divide between 8 people, each person would have to pay C by 8 of the bill. That's the concept of fraction. Okay, part of the whole, right? So there are a total of 8 people. Each of them would have to pay C by 8 of the bill. C 8th of the bill. Now what happened was that one of the friends, he didn't really want to pay, so he just said that I have forgot to bring my wallet, or he said that my UPI app is not working. Okay, so all of those things he said, somehow he got out of this arrangement. So ultimately what happened was that instead of 8 people, there were only 7 people left to pay. Okay, So there was a freeloader, if you want to say like that. So basically this is what happened. So ultimately they had to pay, right? So notice that this C by 8, okay, that is another thing you have to understand. When I am dividing this region 0 to 1, this region of 0 to C, in the first case I am dividing it into 8 parts, okay. In the second case, I am dividing this region from 0 to C into 7 parts. Okay, that is what this is saying. Okay, and each person is taking the C by a seventh of it. Each person is taking this region. So this, when I am dividing into 7 parts, that is larger number. Okay, that is the larger chunk. That is the larger amount that each person has to say, because entire amount C has been divided only in 7 parts. Here it was divided into 8 parts. So each part would of course be larger in this case. Okay, so what is the difference? What is the additional amount that each person had to pay? It is C by 7 minus C by 8. Now we have been asked that is increased by, so we have to answer in terms of fraction. That is what this is saying, is increased by what fraction. So this is the new thing. This was the original thing, we subtracted, so this is the increase. And if we divide it by the original amount that each person was supposed to pay, we get the fractional increase. Okay, so fractional increase in the amount. And of course this is using our fractional techniques of fraction. First we have to do this subtraction. To do this subtraction, what do? We take 7 into 8, that is the LCM of 7 and 8 as common. So 7 into 8, I don't simplify it, I don't write it as 56 yet. It is not wise to simplify it yet, okay, and you will see why. Okay, but I write the LCM as 7 into 8. So this will be into 8 into 8, and this will be into 7 into 7 to in terms of like fractions. So this will be 8C minus, and here we will have 7C, and then divided by C by 8. Now of course this subtraction will give us 1C upon 7 into 8, and this is there in the denominator, this fraction. So we'll bring it to the numerator, and to do that, this is a division of fraction, we always have to reciprocal it. So we have to interchange the denominator and numerator. So this C and C would cancel, this 8 and 8 would cancel. So our answer is 1/7. So each person's share has increased by 1/7 of the original amount that they were supposed to pay. Okay, so initially let's say that they were supposed to pay 70 rupees,